Okay, so we finally know why Beyoncé and Jay-Z went after Piers Morgan hard after he aired his interview with Jaguar Wright. According to Lord Jamar, Jaguar allegedly had some kind of dirt on the Carters, which may or may not involve a video that may incriminate them and land them in some serious trouble. Jaguar has been keeping her foot firmly on the Carters' necks, and it looks like she wasn't bluffing and has enough dirt to take the Carters down once and for all. So what exactly has Beyoncé and Jay-Z been hiding? And did they really try to put a hit out on Jaguar? Let's break this down. This drama has been brewing in the background for a hot minute now, and it all started after Jaguar went on Piers Morgan's show and spilled a lot of tea about the Carters. The next thing we knew, Piers suddenly backtracked it, threw Jaguar under the bus, and apologized to the Carter. To be fair to Piers, the reason he flipped on Jaguar and left her hanging was because Jay-Z and Beyoncé hit him with legal threats for bringing their names into the mix. And let's be real, he wanted no part of that Carter smoke because he backed down real quick. The timing of this was interesting because Jaguar has been out here spilling tea on them for ages, sharing all kinds of crazy allegations. When Cassie sued Diddy, the spotlight was all on him until Jaguar swooped in and started making some explosive claims about Jay-Z being tied up in Diddy's mess, even saying he's worse than Diddy.
Sean Carter is worse.
Uh-oh. Oh, man.
He's smarter. He's patient. He's not sloppy.
Mm-hmm.
This he been lining up people he calls friends and stepping to the side while they get hit by the guillotine for 30 years.
If you're wondering why Sis seems to have such a long-standing grudge against Jay-Z, she might actually have a solid reason. In an interview, she straight up claimed that Jay allegedly tried to unalive her back in the day when she was singing backup for him, pulled up on her with a whole box cutter.
Oh, Carter is just as bad as the diddler, and I know that for a fact. I got the scars to prove it.
So, there's been so many people on the internet trying to figure out where you are. They're watching you. They're doing all types of stuff trying to figure you out.
You want to know what a box cutter feels like going into your skin and ripping you? I can tell you how it feels. Y'all ain't seen shit yet. That Cassie shit, that's nothing.
So are you trying to say like Jay-Z put hands on you?
I'm saying Sean Carter remembers everything he did to me and he's got it on tape. Just like Diddy.
Yeah, that's definitely the kind of thing you don't just forgive and forget. Try to unalive somebody? Wow. It's safe to say Jaguar and the Carters won't be exchanging Christmas cards anytime soon. She keeps spilling tea on them like it's her full-time job. So when the news broke that she'd be on Piers Morgan's show, everybody knew it was about to be messy, and Jaguar delivered. She went all in claiming Jay-Z was the mastermind behind the Me Too movement. According to her, he needed to take R. Kelly down to cover his own tracks. And here's the kicker. She says Jay even bankrolled the movement to distance himself and bury any receipts connecting him to Kelly's crime.
Well, because the Me Too movement was a ruse. It was a setup. It was a scam. I'm saying that now, publicly. Dream Hampton spearheaded the Surviving R. Kelly campaign, which fueled the Me Too campaign. And that was all funded by Sean Carter to make sure that Robert Kelly went to jail. Get his lick back. Why is nobody understanding that Dream Hampton was being financed and ran by Sean Carter? They were able to go and get all of these witnesses because he was there with Robert Kelly. How does Jay-Z sit down with Gayle King and she not ask him one question about the intersection between him and Aaliyah and Robert Kelly? This is insane that people keep refusing to see what's right there. If the Me Too movement were real, why aren't they speaking now? They've also been very quiet in this time of the diddler's downfall.
This comment was definitely interesting, especially since there have been rumors floating around for a while that R. Kelly has been out here saying Jay-Z set him up. Word on the streets is that R. Kelly's been claiming Jay allegedly funded the documentary that played a huge role in swaying his trial. Now that's wild, especially considering how tight Jay and Kelly used to be before Kelly's skeletons came tumbling out of the closet. But once the tea was spilled, Jay started acting like he never met the man. And oh, it gets juicier. Ronnie Bo, Kelly's former cellmate, spilled some serious tea on Hip Hop News Uncensored. According to him, while Kelly didn't have hard evidence, he was convinced Jay, his old collaborator, had put a hit out on him. The fact that Jaguar seems to believe the same thing just adds more spice to this already messed up story. But wait, there's more. Jaguar didn't stop there. She also dropped the bomb that Beyoncé allegedly had something to do with Aaliyah's death.
I have 3 victims right now who are willing to give testimony about not only what Mr. Carter has done to them, but his wife as well. They're a nasty little couple. They do nasty things.
What do you think happened with Kim
Keeping people against their will. Putting people on planes while they're unconscious, just like Aaliyah got on that plane. Unconscious. There's a lot of things that people don't want to talk about. Pierce.
The rumors about Aaliyah's death being shady have been making the rounds for years, and somehow fans always seem to link it back to the Carters. The theory? It all supposedly starts with Jay-Z's alleged obsession with Aaliyah, which apparently had Beyoncé feeling jealous and insecure. Let's not forget they were also neck and neck as competitors in the music industry back then. But rewind for a second. Before Jay-Z allegedly became fixated on Aaliyah, she was married to his close friend R. Kelly. Yep, the same R. Kelly that Jaguar claims Jay set up to take down. And let's address the elephant in the room. The whole marriage was a hot mess. R. Kelly manipulated Aaliyah into marrying him when she was just 15, while he was a grown man of 27. Her parents had to step in to annul it, but the fact that Jay-Z was in the mix, knew all about it, and stayed silent, major side eye. Then, for Jay to turn around and start crushing on Aaliyah after all that, Messi doesn't even begin to cover it. Maybe it wasn't about her specifically, maybe Jay just wanted a powerhouse woman by his side to level up his image while building his empire. Either way, once Aaliyah was tragically out of the picture, he didn't waste any time locking it down with Beyoncé. Coincidence? Fans aren't so sure. Of course, Jaguar Wright couldn't resist pouring more gas on this already blazing fire. She claimed Aaliyah was the real reason Jay-Z and Dame Dash fell out. According to her, Jay was big mad about losing Aaliyah to Dame, and that jealousy basically destroyed their friendship. Classic case of feelings running wild, right? We all know how messy things get when egos and emotions are in the mix. If what Jaguar says is true, it's no wonder the drama between Jay and Dame escalated the way it did. Add Aaliyah into the equation, and it's given ultimate love triangle meltdown.
I think everybody that knows Sean Carter knows that he will slump anyone in any relationship for $1. Look at how he did Dame. Like, I don't give a f if you wanted to get away from your homie, if you wanted to get away from your partner, but to do it the way he did it, it's malicious. But maybe that was because he was f***ing a girl that didn't want you.
Oh.
After the whole Aaliyah drama, Jay-Z shifted his focus to Beyoncé, but the streets couldn't stop whispering about how deep his feelings for Aaliyah had been. It didn't help that there was already this undercurrent of competition between Beyoncé and Aaliyah in the music world. Messy love triangle vibes, anyone? Then came the tragedy of Aaliyah's plane crash, and suddenly, Beyoncé had both the man and the spotlight. But according to Jaguar, it wasn't just a tragic twist of fate or a lucky break for B. Nope, Jaguar claims Beyoncé allegedly played a hand in setting the whole thing up. Now that is some next level tea, and if true, it would be one of the wildest moves in industry history. Anyway, after Jaguar's appearance on Piers' show, Beyoncé didn't waste any time calling in the legal squad. Next thing you know, Piers cut Jaguar's entire segment from the show and publicly apologized to the Carters. Talk about folding under pressure.
Well, Jaguar Wright unexpectedly made several serious allegations about Jay-Z and Beyoncé during that interview. As I said in the moment, they were not present to respond or defend themselves, but now they have. Their lawyers contacted us to say that those claims were totally false and have no basis in fact, and we've therefore complied with the legal request to cut them from the original interview. Editing interviews is not something we do lightly at a show called Uncensored. But, like the proverbial cries of fire in a crowded theatre, there are legal limits on us too. And we apologise to Jay-Z and Beyoncé.
Y'all know Jaguar isn't one to let things slide, and she went in on Piers after he pulled her segment. She claimed it was actually his team that reached out to her first, inviting her to be on the show. Not only that, but she says they discussed everything she planned to say beforehand, and Piers even vetted her claims before she went on air. So for him to backtrack and cut her part, yeah, Jaguar was not about to let that slide.
Piers Morgan's producers called him directly. And we talked about it briefly, and I said, we have to do it. We have to. Because the one thing I know about Piers Morgan is he is smart prey. And not only is he smart prey, he is a great conductor of information. He also vets things viciously. And I want to thank you for that. Because if my word is good enough to make it through Piers Morgan's firewall of please don't sue me, then I guess he just vetted me for every ounce of real life content on this blue couch. We thank you for that.
Yeah, this is sus AF, and it has fans wondering why the Carters went into panic mode after Jaguar threatened to spill some tea on them. Well, Lord Jamar has something interesting to say about that.
But I want to say about the Piers, I was just going to say real quick about the Piers Morgan is, so I've been going on Piers Morgan a couple times. So he actually said the reason why they had to take us down was because the laws are a little different over there in England, in the United Kingdom and all that type of shit. And if they couldn't prove that what she was saying was something that could be real or whatever the case may be, then they was forced to take it down. That their laws is different than American laws. For now, like, you know. Now, if the wrong people get in and, you know, certain free speech is taken away, well then, you know, we might be having those draconian laws as Mr. Morgan called them.
He also hinted that Jay-Z and Beyoncé were trying to silence Jaguar because they know that she allegedly has some insanely damaging dirt on them.
Do you feel like that was fair for Jay-Z and Beyoncé to make Piers Morgan remove that video?
I mean, They say only a hit dog holler, you know? So, I was saying earlier that I don't really pay attention to comments, you know what I mean? Unless it's somebody I respect, you know? Or if it strike a nerve. So, I don't know. I don't know why they responded. They have their own reasoning for responding to that. But I guess they got what they wanted out of it because they took it down.
Like he said, a hit dog's gonna holler, and child, the Carters are hollering hard. Well, fans have a lot of opinions about this, and they commented. Jay-Z and Beyoncé wouldn't dare to sue Jaguar Wright because they'd be guaranteed to lose the case. Jay-Z and Beyoncé's lawyer had the nerve to call Piers Morgan's show to get what Jaguar Wright had to say about them taken off the broadcast, but why haven't they called her to sue for libel or defamation? And if they sue Jaguar Wright, there is an issue of discovery. It would not be smart of them to sue her for defamation in the middle of the Diddy stuff. The pictures in the Diddy case will hurt Jay-Z and Beyoncé